Screaming at the top of your lungs and cheering on the Niners can definitely build up the appetite of the faithful. So who better to please their palates than Guam's own Alvin Kabiling? Kabiling, who was born and raised on island, is the executive chef for Levi Stadium, home of the 49ers, and he's been there since 2018.
This will be my sixth season with the 49ers. But with Levi Restaurants, uh, it'll be 9 years in November.
In 2014, he was at the Oracle Arena, the home of the Golden State Warriors.
I was there for their 5 championship runs. Those were good times. Crazy, but good times. And then the year before they were leaving to go to San Francisco to move, my company, Levi Restaurants, took over this building, and that opportunity at the executive chef level here opened up, and it jumped right in. Being a Niner fan, my whole life, how do you say no?
Kabiling, who graduated from Father Duenas Memorial School in 1993, left shortly after to California for college.
Went to San Jose City College for a couple years, transferred to San Jose State, went there for a few years. Decided at the time, towards the end, I was a year from graduating. I was doing environmental studies major. It wasn't for me.
He couldn't see himself just sitting at the desk. He wanted something more hands-on. He wanted to cook.
That summer, I looked around. There was a culinary school in San Francisco. Applied, got in. It's an 18-month program. Graduated there in 98.
He started his culinary career with Marriott and worked several hotels in the Bay Area for 12 years before taking a break due to a back injury. When he jumped back into the workforce, he found himself at other hotels before landing Levi's.
Cooking was something I've always loved. I was doing it growing up. Of course, everyone says their parents, their grandparents, their family, that's what influenced them. But this is true for me. I loved cooking since I was a young kid. Did it while I was, sixth, seventh grade. Watched my grandmother, my aunties, they cooked, and they were awesome cooks. And still to this day, I think they make the best Filipino food, hands down. So they're the heavy influence in my life. That's what started my career.
He says in the last few years, he has infused more of the flavors he grew up with into the menu and food options at the stadium.
When I got here, we were still running the course of what the fans liked. But that all changed in COVID. Coming out of COVID, we bring in vendors, and in the last 2 years, I'm bringing more island flavors, Filipino flavors, because that's why I'm Filipino by blood, into our menus, and not just here and there. I write the menus for all the premium clubs, so I throw it in there. Why not? Especially here in California and San Francisco, it's such a foodie area. The normal stadium food, that's out the window. They want more.
With 10 home games this season, this executive chef's prep work for the game starts a week out.
Day one, we're receiving product. We're receiving thousands and thousands of dollars of product here. There's clubs, there's concessions, there's suites, and there's all everything else that goes on with it. But for me, especially in the food area, we received the product. I'll go through talking with all my chefs, my supervisor, and leads what the game plan is. Next day, prep day, we prep for 4 days leading up to a game. People think 4 days. 50 people, 50 cooks in my kitchen prepping for that much. It is crazy. It takes that much work. So testing recipes, walking clubs, checking all these things, making sure we're on target. That's the next 2 days.
One day out
is when we start pushing all the stuff we prep to location throughout the building. There's 9 floors here. I have 4 suite kitchens. I have 4 giant clubs, 500 to 600 people in each club. So we start pushing all our food out to the areas. And unlike Oracle Arena, which was a smaller building, about 40 years old, in this stadium, we have the ability to cook in location. I have show kitchens. I have 4 show kitchens in the clubs. So start to finish, we prep it here, but we cook there. It's restaurant style food, cooked a la minute. It's not just sitting there. It's batch firing.
Game day Well, that's a different beast. For Kabiling, it's a 12 to 14-hour workday.
Around 9 o'clock is when I start walking into the premium areas, the clubs, the suites, and all that. Make sure people are on target. Make sure their displays, their tables are set. Gates open, so the onslaught begins. Uh, First, it's premium, so 3 hours before kickoff, premium opens. So all the clubs, all the suites, they're open, they're ready to go. 30 minutes before kickoff, that's when all the fans are grabbing the last of their food, making their way to their seats. We, as a team, with my chefs, we try to get up top to the deck to uh, watch the national anthem, the opening ceremonies, and then the flyby.
And although I'm not a Niners fan, I'm fully aware of the energy they bring to a game. Like a player, does Kabiling feed off the crowd's energy?
I walk around here on game day, and all our games are sold out. 68,000 fans, and to walk in a crowd of that many people in a club, in suites areas, you don't think it'll be crowded there. It is crowded. In general concessions, walking through that crowd, the energy is there. Uh, it's just crazy, and you got to be there to experience it as just something special.
So the next time you're watching a Niners game and you see the faithful going crazy, it's not only because the game, it's also because chances are their tummies are full of great food courtesy of a Guam sun. Jonagan Charfres, KM News.